Alright, bit of boxing news for you. So, it's been announced today that in Birmingham on April the 20th, so April is shaping up to be quite a big important month as well. If you think about it, it's actually shaping up to be a bit similar to this month in a sense of fights every other week. But April the 20th in Birmingham, the West Midlands, I think that's where Birmingham is anyway, we are going to have Ben Whittaker versus Liam Cameron in a rematch from their clash on the Undercard of BF Bivol 1 back in October. We all know how that fight was going, and we all know how it ended. It ended in a lot of controversy, not just the draw, because a lot of people felt that even though it only went, five or so thereabouts rounds, 5, 6 rounds, a lot of people felt that Liam Cameron did enough to win that fight even at that point. And then the ending, which was both guys doing a tumble out of the ring. Again, all we can go by is what the fighter is really saying, to be fair. But judging by the replays, it didn't look like Ben Whittaker really hit the canvas or hit the ground with any great degree of force. So how he got that, it was ankle injury, I think it was, how he got it. Look, at the end of the day, you can only go by what you see. And it didn't look like there was any kind of real, brute force there when he, hit the canvas or anything like that. Or hit the side of the ring apron. He claimed he was injured. They stopped the fight, it went to a decision, and it was a draw, which was controversial because, I felt Liam Cameron was ahead, as did many. So we are going to see this rematch. Now, obviously it's very different this time around. It will be headlining. I'll talk with you on the card now in a sec. But it's not going to be in Saudi Arabia. It's going to be top of the bill, and it's going to be on a boxer show. Whereas that was on a Riyadh show. Frank Warren, although Frank Warren at the time, to be fair, wasn't actually promoting Liam Cameron, wasn't working with him at all. Frank Warren is the lead promoter on those shows. It had, Eddie Hearn fighters, it had Queensbury fighters, etc. So, you're kind of lost in the shuffle, so to speak. You're kind of, in no man's land with those, in a sense of you could be anywhere on the card. You're not going to be main event, obviously, but you know what I mean. Whereas this is going to be in a boxer show on Sky Sports. It's on his network, on his, his promoter Ben Shalom. It's on his show. And it's, in a place I'm sure he's going to be comfy with. So we may very well see, or we have to see a better performance from Ben Whittaker, because he didn't look good in that fight, quite frankly. He hasn't looked good for his last couple of fights, to be honest with you, pretty much since leaving Sugar Hill Stewart. He's not looked good. So we need to see an improvement. Liam Cameron, on the other hand, he's now working with Frank Warren, so he's got a major promoter behind him. He really did turn a lot of heads in that fight for the right reasons. He looked very good. And he'll go into this fight with a great degree of confidence, thinking, do you know what? I was winning this fight. I didn't get the decision, but I was winning it. It made you, in some people's minds, want to quit. So he'll go into this fight thinking, if I can do what I did again, I need to be a bit better, because I don't think it'll be as easy this time. But if he goes into that fight thinking, I need to be a bit better, and I can, really bring it home this time, leave no doubt in anyone's minds, that's going to skyrocket me. I mean, it already did, move him up the pecking order in terms of boxing. Again, he went into it with no promoter, or certainly if he did, he had a very small one behind him. Got Frank Warren behind him now. Frank Warren doing great work, with the zone, all the shows he has coming up. So he'll go into this fight with a great degree of confidence. Now, it is an interesting one. I think that Ben Whittaker, he really does need to perform. He really does, because a lot of people were likening him to a Josh Kelly in terms of a very flashy fighter. Ben Whittaker is more a talker than Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly he never really was a talker, Josh Kelly, never really. And Josh Kelly made it to European level, fought David Avanesian, lost that fight, capitulated quite bad in that fight a couple of years ago. And yeah, it's been rebuilding ever since. And he's solid at domestic level, but he's never really pushed on. A lot of people were saying that Ben Whittaker was kind of like that. And I thought, well, no, I think he's probably a bit better. But in this fight, or certainly the previous fight he had with Liam Cameron, you would say, what is Liam Cameron domestic level? And he's struggling there. So you do look at it and think, oh God, how far is he going to go? The lack of pop in Ben Whittaker's punches may very well be an issue, because you have fighters on him like a bad smell, because they don't feel any perceived threat from the punching power and stuff like that. So yeah, we're going to really need to see a much improved Ben Whittaker. In terms of the card itself, it's not a terrible card, to say the least. Sam Egerton is on there. When do we ever see Sam Egerton in a bad fight? Never. Absolute warrior, blood and guts warrior. A lot of respect for Sam Egerton. Tyler Denny makes his return to the ring. I like Tyler Denny. I like his story. He's fought in Birmingham. He actually beat Felix Cash in Birmingham. I like his story. I think he's a very talented young fighter. Tyler Denny, I really do. European champion. There's no shame in that. A lot of fighters would kill to be European champion. A legit European champion too. He just ran into Hamza Shiraz, who was way bigger, way better, and that's how it happens at the end of the day. I think the same thing would have happened to Felix Cash and some of the guys Tyler Denny has already beaten had they ran into Hamza Shearer. So, and he's fighting for a world title. So, no shame in that defeat whatsoever. Absolutely none. And yeah, I think Tyler Denny, I like watching him. I hope he's not, I hope it doesn't scar him, that loss. It wasn't a devastating one punch knockout defeat, but it was dominant. It was a really dominant win for Hamza Shearaz. And then we have Fraser. I'm not laughing at him, by the way. We have Fraser Clarke versus Ebenezer Tetteh, the 36-year-old Ebenezer Tetteh. Yes, really interesting. 36 years old. Yeah, listen, it's going to be. He's a hard fighter to look bad against, and Dylan White did it. So let's see what Fraser Clarke can do. Listen, Fraser Clarke following on from that devastating knockout defeat, and it really was, the hands of Fabio Wadley. We need to see how he looks. I doubt Ebenezer Tetteh is going to be the guy to see, does he have any chinks in his armour post that knockout defeat. But if you never know, there might very well be. But he should see through that fight reasonably comfortably. And as I said, it's going to be harder to do a worse job than Dylan White did. So if he does, then then we really do have a problem. So that's the card. And April is shaping up to be a big month of boxing, because April the 5th we have the heavyweight show in Manchester. We've Boots, and I think that is Boots Ennis fighting on April the 20th as well in America. And then obviously April 26th, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Ring Magazine show, Ben Eubank. So big month. In fact, what am I saying? Big month. Big year. Seems like we've got a big show every other month stacked with fights. So when I say big show, really big year, it should come as no surprise. But yeah, it's actually, by boxer standards, that's not a bad show. It's not a bad show. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Ben Whittaker, Liam Cameron 2. Let me know. Smash the like button, all that good stuff. Until next time, until later, really. Peace.